This is Chris with Elev8 Presents, here with Fiona, also known as Phoenix Fire Glass. Hi Fiona, how did you get your glassblower name?
I've always felt really an affinity for the legend of the Phoenix, who worships the sun, and every 1,000 years when the Phoenix gets old and tired, it makes itself a nest of cinnamon and frankincense sparks and all these yummy smelling herbs, and lights itself up and burns itself down, and from those ashes, those fragrant ashes, a new egg is found. And I was in a serious car accident when I was 17. My best friend was killed, and I had 3 years of surgery and recovery. And that journey of being so broken-hearted, broken body, and finding my way back to health and strength through that always made me feel really connected to the story of the Phoenix.
Definitely correlation.
Yeah.
When did you start working with glass?
Well, when I met Turtle in 2010, I had smoked herb for a couple years, and I didn't even know that the pipe I was smoking out of was made by a person. Because so much of our world is machine manufactured. It didn't even occur to me that it was handmade. And so when I met Turtle and I saw him work, my mind was just blown. And I was already falling in love with him. And then I also began a love affair with the medium of glass.
When was that you started? You said, where was that? Excuse me, I misspoke.
Yeah, that was up in just outside of Corvallis, Oregon.
And you still working there up in Oregon?
We moved to Ashland about in 2011, so we've been in Ashland ever since, and I've been working there.
Very cool. And is it just you and Turtle in the studio?
We do have one other friend. His name is John. So Turtle, for about 8 years, he was part of the ownership team of Dichroic Alchemy. We had a huge warehouse studio with 11 bench spaces, a raw materials store, a classroom, a gallery, and the whole imaging business was all in that space. So most of my time was spent there, and we recently restructured and streamlined into a separate sole proprietorship. So we were in the Dichroic Alchemy studio for about 8 years, and realized that it would be more efficient for each person to own their own piece of it. Turtle's an incredible glass blower, but he was up in the office, doing customer service and things that,
doing glass.
Pulling him off the torch. Yeah. So once we streamlined that and we just became sole proprietors of just making our glass. Anyway. So after Dichroic Alchemy transitioned, we started our own home studio, but John had been a renter at Dichroic Alchemy, and we got along famously, and he needed a place to work, and we had enough room for an extra bench, so now we just work at home, but we do have our friend there with us.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So you would probably say that working with Dichro is your favorite technique. Do you have anything else other than that you have an affinity for?
So yes, I do love working with Dichro. I happen to, be learning and mentored by the Dichro Whisperer himself. He's incredible, but I also really love to create patterns in dot work on the surface of the glass and leave it really raised and textured like a peyote bead stitch like effect.
I love glass with a nice texture to it.
Yeah, I call them pleasure bumps.
That is exactly what they are. I couldn't have said it better myself.
And it works as a bit like a worry stone, and also the texture of the feathers and the arrowhead.
It gives a little extra grip on a pipe.
So those are some of the things I love.
What do you see for the future of the glass industry?
I see it as a part of a larger movement to ground back into handmade and locally made, as much as possible, everything. Based on what the needs of the planet and our ecosystem are, and the idea that I went from not even knowing that the pipes in the head shop were made by a person to being one of the people making the pipes in the head shop. I hope it's part of a larger move to simplify and get back into handmade magic.
I'd be on board with that. I'm a huge fan of handmade artwork and anything, clothing. Do you have any inspirations as far as glass artists, people that you look up to?
Yes, absolutely. Laceface, of course, is a huge inspiration. I love her work and her just the way she carries herself and the message in her work. Emily Marie is a huge inspiration. She also is one of those, it's like she is so shiny and then her work is so fabulous. Actually, Turtle's mentor, Clinton Roman, makes some of my favorite pieces as well. He really speaks to my
I love
aesthetic.
Clinton's work.
Yeah, he's really special.
Do you have any hobbies outside of glass?
Yes, I'm a karaoke small-time karaoke professional.
Champion of the world.
I love theater and performance, and so karaoke nights with my homies is pretty awesome.
All right, final question. This one's a tough one. Do you believe in aliens? And if so, what would they do for a Klondike bar?
For a Klondike bar? They would definitely come raid our shit.
They definitely would. They would come a-knocking.
Definitely believe it's possible that we are the descendants of aliens that took mushrooms, or maybe monkeys that took mushrooms.
Yeah.
Or pretty sure mushrooms are in there somewhere.
Yeah, I think so. Awesome. Thank you so much, Fiona.
Thank you.